Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Ashley, the Wayward Stitcher. And this is how far I've come in a 3 weeks time on my Heaven and Earth Max Color Tiger Family in the Jungle by Patrik Krasny. Previous videos I stated that I was hoping to finish the second row here. Didn't quite happen. And as you can see, I have very strongly deviated from my stitching plan. However, the toucan is almost, his beak is almost done, so that's fun. I worked hard on that the other day. And I'm really impressed with how it looks, like how detailed it is. It's amazing. I'm sorry if I sound congested in any way, shape, or form. I'm not sick. But due to my new job, it does create some issues with my sinuses and stuff. So, that might be why. If I have to clear my throat a lot or whatever, that would be why. And we'll get into talking about my job in just a few minutes. But, yeah, this is where we're at. And, the reason for this is I am stitching my way down to the tiger. Why? Because I want to. And honestly, stitching the black has gotten me stitching quite a bit more. This I pretty much just did yesterday, while hanging out in the yard, out in the front deck while it was really nice out. It was 24 degrees Celsius here yesterday. And I took advantage of sitting out on the front deck with, or the front porch with my stitching and some coffee, and really just enjoyed the afternoon while Larry was doing some yard work and things like that. So yeah, we're working down towards the tiger, so I've got a bit of space here where I can work with my Stitch With Me. And then I do think that maybe tomorrow I'm going to film a regular update video. Now, of course, you guys will see this again in the update video, but I've also got a little bit of haul. I did purchase some patterns in the Heaven and Earth sale from this weekend. So yeah, if this updates today, when I'm filming it, this would be, I'm trying to remember what the name of the holiday is for everyone in the US right now. I have a hard time keeping track of all of that kind of stuff. Anyway, I know it's a holiday in the States right now, and if you celebrate that holiday, I hope you guys have, or are having a fantastic day and enjoying it, spending time with loved ones and such. So, our long weekend was last weekend, so that was, yeah, fun. But anyway, let us get situated here so that I can actually start stitching. Because it's not really a stitch with me if I do all the talking and I'm not stitching, right? Alright, so, yeah, last weekend was a long weekend for us here in Canada, and we had some races going on at the racetrack, but the weather was like absolutely trash. It was cold, it was raining, it was god awful. And so Larry and I didn't stay very long. We stayed for like the first race, which our horse Little Tags was in. And then we went home for a while and watched the races on TV. And then when our other horse, Delightful Wine, was going to be racing, we decided to go back to the track because at that point the rain had kind of stopped a bit. So we went back to watch the last few races. And then, yeah, so the biggest, so to start the video off properly, I guess I should have maybe started with this or led with this. In my previous update video, I did state that I had a new part-time job. Well, that part-time job kind of fell through. I was supposed to be working for our friend that's living with us at the racetrack doing some barbecuing for the summer. And the weather out here in Nova Scotia is so, like, 90% or, like, well, not 90%, but a good amount of the time it's quite breezy out. And so if you wanted to barbecue and be sheltered and everything like that, you'd have to be like under a canopy tent kind of thing. And then those canopy tents just would not stay, obviously, because it just gets so windy out here. And never mind the fact that the first day that we tried to do the barbecuing, it was cold and just miserable. Like, it wasn't raining really, but it was cold. And I just was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not standing out here. It's not even like, you know, it's the middle of May, and the weather out here still hasn't turned to be, hasn't been nice. Like, we've had, like I said, yesterday we had a really nice day where it was like 25 degrees out today. Or, sorry, not today, but it was 25 degrees out. And then today it's back down to like 10 degrees. So it's cold out today. And it's breezy. So anyway, so I sat our friend down and I was like, listen, I just don't want to do that for the summer. You're going to have to find somebody else. I said, besides, you know, I'd really like to have Sundays to not be doing anything. And he's like, that's fine. And the reason why, and this is going into a different story altogether, and the reason why I didn't want to work Sundays is because actually not too long before all of this went down, our horse, Little Tags, his trainer stables Little Tags at the racetrack there. And he shares a barn with another fellow who is our friend's boss, actually. And he has 4 horses. So there's 6 horses total in that barn. And, excuse me, when Little Tags came along originally, my idea was like, oh, maybe I should talk to these people and see if there's any chance I could get into the barn and do some work for them. Well, it turned out that no, that wasn't going to happen. They had someone, they didn't need me, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, well, is what it is, I'll move on. You know, but maybe I can find somebody else's barn to do some work in. So I tried the trainer of Delightful Wine, and he said, nope, I already hired someone, sorry, I can't help you. Okay. He said, but, you know, you're welcome to come out to the barn, or the farm, anytime you like, and see him, and my other horses and stuff. Like, okay, cool. That was fine. So, fast forward to, like, later on in that week, something had happened to the guy that worked for the people that train Little Tags, and so then a space had opened up for me to come and do barn work. So I immediately went over and was like, yeah. Our friend called me, says, you know, something opened up here, you want to come chat with them about, you know, possibility of some work. Like, okay. So at the time, the trainer of Little Tags only had the 2 horses. It was Little Tags, and then he had another colt that was on stall rest for some injuries and stuff. So I was like, okay, oh, you know, that'll be great. And then the guy, you know, that's our friend's boss, he kind of walks by, because like I said, his horses are in the same barn. He's like, well, if you're looking for more work, I'm interested, because the guy that was helping them was helping me, and, you know, I could use the help too. I'm like, all right. So it turns out now I have a part-time job in 2 different stables, but 1 barn, looking after 6 horses. well, I say looking after, but I basically muck them out and feed them dinner and things like that. However, on the one side, the one stable, I am actually learning more about the training of the horses and the equipment and things like that. So that's been like a lot of fun for me. And yeah. So it's I do mornings about, well, right now the 2 horses got shipped out of the barn for 2 weeks because we're not racing. We didn't race this past weekend. So the 2 horses got shipped out to the other farm for a little bit of R&R and whatever, which was fine. And then, so I got 2 weeks off from that half of the barn. So then I've been working on this other side of the barn with the 4 horses the other guy has. And so, anyway, we've got the 4 horses. We've got, his name is, there's one, his name is Phil. These are just horses. I'm not going to put their whole track names in here just because they're not my horses, so I'm not going to, and I know they're in public all the time, but just as a, Little Tags is different because he's, partially my horse. But anyway, so we have Phil, Louie, Joe, and Frankie are the 4 horses that I deal with every morning. So I'm up, usually when the 6 horses are in the barn, I'm at the barn for 7 a.m. But right now, since there's just the 4 on the one side, I've been going to the barns at 8 a.m. And I'm usually done. If I work straight, I'm only there for about an hour. But if I stay to like help with the harnessing and watching the training and all that kind of stuff, I usually like spend my whole morning there, just because I obviously don't have anything else to do besides come home and stitch and play video games and things like that. So I spend my time there doing that. So I get a lot of fun out of that. And yeah, so this morning, however, one of the horses bit me right in the leg, which was quite painful. If you've ever been bitten by a horse, you know the pain. If you haven't, let me tell you, it's painful. He didn't break skin. Obviously, I was wearing jeans and stuff at the time, and he just grabbed me randomly. I was topping up his water bucket with another pail, and he just, for whatever reason, decided it was okay to reach over and bite me right in the leg. He actually bit me right in the thigh, so that was, that was a lot of screaming and then crying, and yeah, it was. Then I already had another horse in the cross ties at the time, and I was just kind of like, oh my god, okay. I was like, I need to just take a breather for a minute. I need to have a minute here and gather myself together and get over the pain before I even think about doing anything else. And so yeah, that was an interesting morning this morning. Now, mind you, these horses are not aggressive horses. They're very good horses. They're very well-mannered horses usually. However, I think they're just a little bit worked up because they haven't been raced, and they're used to racing because they're race horses, and so when they have a day off, it kind of makes them crazy. So, yeah, the horse that bit me, he's usually the spicy one. He's usually the guy that's got lots of sass and stuff. So yeah, he's a piece of work, that one. But he is a good horse. He's a very sweet horse. He's I really like him a lot. But I'm gonna have to just pause for 2 seconds because I realized I've sat myself down, started filming, and I don't have my scissors. So I'll be right back. Okay, we're good now. So yeah, by tomorrow I'll have some half decent bruises on my legs. But yeah, No broken skin, no trip to the hospital or anything like that, so we're good. It was just shocking. Just shocking. Okay, don't expect to get bitten out of the blue. But it's not my first animal bite, and it won't be my last, I'm sure, so I've gotten many in my time. Two of which sent me to the hospital when I was working at the vets. So, yeah. So that's what I've been busy with, and yeah, so like I said, again, work every morning, and then sometimes I go back in at supper time to feed dinner, because the guy I work for, he's usually there training the horses till after lunchtime and that, so he feeds lunch, and then we've got I guess there's a gentleman at the racetrack that's a bit of a groundskeeper type guy, and he's always there every morning, and he feeds the horses their breakfast, so that's really nice, and he does that at like 5 a.m. or something like that, so the horses get nice early breakfast. But yeah, it's been, for you guys that know me and have followed me for any point in time, horses are my big thing. I love horses, have loved horses my whole life. So being able to work in a barn where there's a bunch of horses is making me incredibly happy. I have found that I am a lot less irritable every day. I'm just feeling a lot better mentally since having been working in the barn. So it's nice to it gives me something to do every day, gets me out of bed, you know, makes me feel like I'm actually contributing to my household, which for a long period of time I wasn't feeling like I was really doing because I wasn't working, right? So yeah, it's been great. It's been really great. And then the other good news that I have is that this Thursday, our friend is moving out, and he's got his own place. Him and his wife are going to be living in an apartment about 5 minutes away, so that's awesome. So once he moves out, we're going to be putting my office together. So this coming weekend probably, I would say, would be when about we're going to start doing that, putting everything together. This past weekend, we were at IKEA and bought a few display cases for my room, or we bought a display case for my room, and we've bought my desk from Leon's, and I've got, I've already got a monitor for computer / gaming monitor and things like that. So, my PlayStation's going to go in my room. I've got paint picked out. So hopefully next week, or maybe this weekend, we can get the paint, and I can spend the weekend painting when I have my time off from the barn. I've got a knot here. So yeah, I'm really, really excited to have that space for my own now. Because since we've moved here, or, since we moved out of my parents', I have wanted, this is all stuck. How? Okay. I have wanted to have my own space for a while to do crafting and things like that. And when I used to live with my parents, I did have, they had a spare room when my brother moved out. And when I, was still living with them, I did have that space as my own. And this is just going to be the way. Okay, we're going to have to cut that off. Just a second, guys. Okay, we're all fixed. As I was saying, when I did live with my parents, I had my own space there. I had my bedroom, but I also had the spare room there that had been my brother's before he moved out. And when he left, that was where I could go to game and do my crafting and that. You guys might remember that from previous videos. I'm not really sure. Anyway, so yeah, it's been about definitely since I've met Larry that I haven't had that space. So about 3 years. And yeah, so feeling happy to have my own space and I can make it the way I want it. I don't have to, have it any specific way to meet anyone else's standards but mine. So I'm hoping, like, we're obviously going to have to see what happens, but maybe I'll be able to do my Flosstube videos down there as well. But until then, I'm going to continue to do them in my dining room, because that's just the best place in the house that's got the best lighting. So I'm just going to have to do it that way, which is fine. So I'm not 100% sure if I've mentioned what color I'm making my room, but the office is going to be like a baby blue color. And the color name is actually Ariel, like the Little Mermaid Ariel, which I really like. Not because like I'm huge on Little Mermaid or anything like that. It's a really nice like sky, almost baby blue type color. And I really love it. So I'm really excited to be able to paint that color. And then of course my desk that I bought is white. It's white metal, and it lights up and stuff, which is really awesome. So I'm really excited for that. I bought a new mouse pad. We've been looking at a chair for me to use in that room that I can sit in the corner and do my stitching. So yeah, it's all, like I said, we've already bought a few of the things that are going to be going in that room, and it's just a matter of putting them in there. So, and then I also have, we managed to get a hold of some free pegboard from where our daughter works. So, I'm going to take some of that pegboard and I'm going to paint it, and I'm going to hang it on the wall, and I'm going to use it to hang some of my stitchy stuff, like my hoops and all that kind of stuff, which I think will be fun. So that'll be nice. And then I don't know how big of a piece I'm going to use just yet, but it just depends on how we set the room up and everything else. So it's all just going to take a bit of time. Right now I'm sitting and my foot is absolutely throbbing. My heel is just, I'm in a lot of pain at the moment. For weeks, I've had issues with my heels, like a single heel, long before I started working in the barns. But since I've been working in the barn and I've been doing a lot more walking and that, it's just, my heel has just been so sore. It's just really sore today, and I'm not sure why. And I've forgotten to take like a Tylenol or something for it, so. Well, you guys can't even see what I'm stitching really, can you? I'm just gonna have to adjust this just a second. There we go, that's probably better. But yeah, so it's been a strange couple of weeks. A lot of adjusting. When we were at IKEA, hang on a second, I think I got a knot in the back. Oh, I do. Oh, you bugger. Darn it. Let's see if I can get that out. Hang on, again. Okay, and we're fixed. Again. Alright. So yeah. A bit of foot pain at the moment, but we're managing. So this past weekend, when we went to IKEA, we did a trip to Costco as well, and bought there was this really nice dining room light that we picked out that we really liked. So we got that, and Larry hung that yesterday. And we also managed to get a new cooktop for our kitchen island for a really good price. It was marked for $9.99, and when we got to the till, $7.99. So we were like ecstatic about that. So Larry installed that yesterday as well. He installed a new ceiling fan in our daughter's room, so she's happy. So we've been doing a lot of upgrades. I've got 2 nice new hanging baskets out my front porch. We've got, you know, all my hostas are coming up. Mind you, I am not the biggest fan of hostas. Hostas are something my mom had a lot of. We were living at her place, and I don't know. I guess they're a hardy plant, and they're nice, I guess, and they're easy to manage. However, the issue that we're gonna have around here is the deer are gonna be eating them, and I think they've already started eating the ones that we have along the edge of our deck on the side of the house. They've already started chewing those ones down, so not really 100% sure whether we're going to keep the hostas or we're just going to dig them up. And we've been doing a lot of talking about what we want to do with our yard. So obviously we want to put a fence up so that we can get a dog. But a fence is going to be expensive, so it's, you know. However, we'll have to see. One thing at a time. One thing at a time. I was sick for a period of time last week. I think it was last week, maybe the week before. Like shortly after I filmed my last video, I think I came down with a really bad stomach bug. I had a fever and everything, and I was down. I wouldn't say I was like down for the count or anything, but I was really unwell for about 2 days, and then I started feeling a bit better. But yeah, the fever was really something. I'm not 100% sure if I've mentioned that we've booked our flights now to go back to Ontario to see my mom and to do my dad's celebration of life. So, sorry for the truck. We'll be going from the 12th of July to the 18th of July. And, yeah, so we're looking forward to that. Just to be able to see some friends and stuff. That'll be nice. I'm trying to do a little bit more reading. That hasn't really panned out the way I wanted it to. I always like have all these immaculate plans, and then I just don't execute them at all. And it's terrible. I apologize for that truck as well. My golly. I apologize, guys. Once I heard him coming, I should have paused it. Anyways, yeah, so living out here, there's like oil tankers and things like that. No, not tankers, but trucks that come and deliver oil to people's houses and things like that, driving by here all the time, so you'll get that every once in a while in my videos. But yeah, I've purchased 3 New Heaven and Earth Designs charts. So I'm going to have a hard time deciding not to start those when they show up. Because I just, yeah. I obviously absolutely love stitching Heaven and Earths. So, yeah. I think I've made a mistake already. Not really a mistake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. I'm one farther down than I thought I was. Okay. I just have to figure this out. Made a boo-boo. There's lots of black here though, so it's okay. It doesn't really matter. Seven, 8, 9, 10. Yep, I've only stitched. Yep. I am actually have to figure that out. Oops. Was marking things a little wrong, that's all. That's okay, not a big deal. I'll just have to fix it. This whole 10 by 10 square is black anyways, doesn't really matter. But yeah, really wanted to get down into that tiger. So I'm really hoping that I can manage maybe some of that today. I'm hoping to get about 500 stitches in today. I'm already at 200 now. So, and I have the rest of the day to do what I want. So I do want to get some laundry done today, however, and clean up my kitchen a bit more from yesterday, because we did, like I said, we did install the new cooktop, and we were just so busy yesterday. By the time supper was over, we were too tired to like clean up the kitchen, so I've got to do that yet, but that's easy to do. So I think I made a bit of an error on here. Not quite gotten to where I wanted to be on these guys, but that's okay. I'll have to double check this before I carry on, but yeah, so things have been relatively good here. I've just been super busy, and I just haven't had, like, I've tried to get this Stitch With Me done for a while. I tried doing it last week, and it just wasn't working. But it seems to be cooperating with me today, so that's important. And then again, I will do an actual update video with you guys, or for you guys, probably on Wednesday. Just because Wednesday is the last of the month, the 31st. And I'll do a video then, and I'll upload, and then it'll be back to doing regular updates after that. I'm still going to do Stitch With Me's, of course, but my Monogamania is going to be over, so I will be stitching all sorts of different things again. So that should be good for you guys, as well as me. I've loved working on my Heaven and Earth, don't get me wrong at all, but yeah. 11. That looks about right. Okay. I'm really hoping so. It would not be a good mistake. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to having normal videos again. And I've been actually toying with the idea of changing the name of my channel. I've had the Wayward Stitcher for a very, very long time, and I think it's about time that we change things up a bit. And maybe change, well, I mean, I don't know if I want to like change my intro too much, but because it's been super easy so far for editing purposes and things like that, but I might just do a whole new rebrand. We'll have to see. I'll have to play around with it. Maybe once I get my office up and running, and maybe for July we'll have a new channel, a new setup, which would be nice. Not a new channel, but you know, like a new rebranding. I want things to look a little more fancy and professional like, and that. So yeah, there's been and I've also realized that I've got another influx of subscribers lately, so welcome to any of those new subscribers that have kind of popped over since my last video. I appreciate you being here, and hope you enjoy your stay. I never think to lead my videos with that. I just kind of, like, when I remember to say it, I say it. But I will also welcome everybody again when I film on Wednesday. Oh, this 310 is so easy. I absolutely love it. I love stitching 310. And this project, let me tell you, has no shortage of it. I actually had to go to Michael's the other day to get a few more skeins of black because I realized I had pretty much used up all the black I had. So I ran out and got like 5 more skeins. Hopefully that'll be enough for this project, but we'll see. We shall see. But with these last 2 stitches, I think I'm going to call that the end of the Stitch With Me for this week. I will go back to doing the Stitch With Me's again once a week, maybe twice a week, depending on the time that I do have with me. We'll see. So like again, but because I'm doing a regular update video this week, I might just leave the Stitch With Me to just 1 this week because I don't want to overdo it with uploads. So yeah, we'll see how things plan out, but hopefully you guys will see, like I said, another video on the 1st of June. So with that, guys, I really, really appreciate you hanging out with me again today, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.